Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. Welcome back to the Black Elf and your boy, Brother Kush. Today I want to talk about power dynamics within a relationship. Now, if you don't know the power dynamic is, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a way of describing who's in control, who's in the driver's seat, who's the leader, who's the follower, you know, who's the alpha, who's the beta, who's the dominant, who's the submissive. You know, these are power dynamics, right? And a lot of times in relationships, especially in modern times where women compete with men in everything, you do have sort of a struggle within that relationship as to the power dynamics of the relationship. The problem I have with it is that we shouldn't consider our relationship to have anything to do with power. There are no power dynamics within any relationship. They're just roles. But I'm going to get into that because that's my way of seeing it. That's not the expert's way of seeing it. To the experts, there is a power dynamic. But to me, from the world I come from, the second I hear somebody talk about power dynamics, it's offensive to me as a man and offensive to my wife as a woman. Because the truth of the matter is my wife chose me. Any so-called power that I appear to have over her, she gives to me. And at any time she wants to take away whatever seemingly power I have over her, she can walk and take that from me. So I really don't have power over my wife, and vice versa. She doesn't have any power over me. We are together by choice. So that's what I want to talk about. Power dynamics from the way experts see it versus the way Brother Kush understand how relationships should run. So let's roll on this here. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive notification when I drop more videos. You don't hit that bell icon, you won't receive notification because YouTube is shadow banning me. They're doing a hell of a job too. So, but the channel is still growing. They're not stopping the flow. We're going to get there. You know, it's going to happen. They can't stop it, you know what I'm saying? But they are doing a good job. YouTube has changed a lot. The algorithm has changed a lot in the way it's pushing that content out. Because you have a lot of content creators, right? And it simply cannot push everybody. Let's just be fair. It can't push everybody. So it's very important that if you are somebody that supports this channel, drop an emoji in the comment section, people. You don't have to say a word. Just drop an emoji. Hey, put a middle finger up. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to do nothing obscene because, you know, I'm trying my best to get around their restrictions, right? But anyway, you could put a finger up in it. I don't care what you do. Kush, you know what I'm saying? Anything you feel you want to do in the comment section, drop something in the comment section. You know, interact with the channel in some way. Like the video, you know what I'm saying? Share it to yourself. Hit the share button and email it to yourself. You know, do anything to help this video, help the channel get out, because the way YouTube's algorithm is right now, I feel sorry for new content creators. It's not going to be easy. So let's get into it. Do you feel like your relationship is in a never-ending battle? Are you stuck in a push-pull loop, worrying the relationship isn't the same anymore? You may be struggling with an imbalance in power dynamics. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to be in a push or pull relationship. I'm not going to be in a relationship that's a never-ending battle. And I will hope and pray that any woman that's with me doesn't want that kind of relationship either, because that's not how I roll, and I'm not accepting it. If I find myself fighting over everything with a woman, she got to go. And I'm speaking from personal experience because, hey, if you lived as long as I have and you've dated as many women as I have, you've had your share of power struggles with women. The only thing different is that it was never a power struggle with me because I just cut them off. But I've had these kinds of women in my space at times in my life that it seems like no matter what the topic was, it became contentious and confrontational and debatable. It seemed like no matter what I said, if I said I think we should go right. I don't know. I think we should go left because, no, look. And see, now this is where roles come into play. Remember in the very beginning, I said there are no power dynamics. There are just roles. As a man, I lead. That's just that. That's not a power dynamic. That is a role. As a woman, you follow. That's that. That's not a power dynamic. That's not to say that, I own you. I lead, you follow. If you have a beef with that, you go, I continue. And that's the way I roll, right? But I've had women that tried those things with me, and each time I cut them off. You got to go. Because I'm not going to do a push and pull, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do a kind of relationship that's always arguing and debating about everything. Well, woman is constantly trying to belittle your intelligence or belittle your abilities, you know what I'm saying? Like she don't trust you. And that's a big issue that men have also with women, A man could be very good at something, and he could tell his girl something, give his girl some advice, and she don't hear it, right? She don't listen to him. And then 3 months later, she's on YouTube, and some female says the same thing he said, or some other dude, which makes it even worse. Some other dude says the same thing he said. She come back and say, I heard this guy say that I need to try this and that. And you be like, B, I told you that months ago. You know what I'm saying? I already told you that. But when I told it to you, it wasn't good advice. So now some stranger then told you on YouTube. Now you come back to me like that's good advice. See, these are the kind of insulting things that men got to deal with when you have a woman that is struggling in here to adhere to her role within the structure of your relationship. Because if there can only be one alpha, right? There can only be one alpha. If a man is a true alpha, that woman can't be an alpha. That's that. That's just the way it goes. When you're dealing with games, right? Say you got like captains and lieutenants and all that stuff, right? None of these men are soft, but they still follow the lead of another man. So just because you following, that don't mean that you're less capable. It's just the role that you are in. And if you are in any type of structure, then you have to play a role, otherwise it's chaos. Two total individuals. See, that's the thing. In a relationship, you gotta become one, right? One person, right? And that's really what it's more like. You gotta become one. You can't have one body with two heads. So only one head can be the head, right? And that's where the alpha comes in at. If the man is the alpha, then he has to make the decisions. Even if the woman is smarter than him in a lot of ways, he has to consult with her. She has to give him all the facts that she know to be true, all the data, and he still have to sit there and make the decision. Otherwise, they need to reverse the structure, the dynamics of that structure, where the woman is the head and the man follows. And you do have relationships like that, and I have no problem with them. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that you can't have two heads. But with me, I'm going to lead. And if you can't follow, then you got to go. So I don't do these kinds of relationships where you argue about everything, where everything is a debate, where everything is an argument. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. So let me continue, because I want to chop this up a little bit. Let's see what else they say on this here. We all want to feel seen, supported, and validated in a relationship, right? So what happens when the initial honeymoon period of a relationship tapers off and it becomes more difficult to rationalize and empathize with your partner's reality? You may find yourself withdrawing or distancing yourself from them, and even avoiding talking through issues as a way of sidestepping tricky conversations. So this person said, what happens when that period is over, the honeymoon stage, right, is over, and it becomes difficult to rationalize or even empathize with your partner's reality? Now, I don't know why she said your partner's reality. I don't really know why she said it. The real condition of his life, how he lives, say the fact that he doesn't have a lot of money, say the fact that he's short. So him being short was okay a week ago when you had that thing in your mouth, working it and riding it, slamming it, you know what I'm saying? And now that the heightened emotions of that period is gone, now you're sitting back looking, saying, I'm not sure if I like this guy no more. I'm not sure if I want to be with this man long term. Well, to be honest, and this is something for the sisters, you know. You don't owe nobody no explanation, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because men experience a honeymoon period too. We also kick it with women that we know that we wouldn't want to be with the rest of our lives. The only difference is we kind of know that up front. Women kind of discover that after. I mean, at least that's what it seems for the most part. It seems like y'all figured it out after the fact, right? After it wears off. We don't need anything to wear off for us to know that. And I think that's where the miscommunication kind of comes in at. Because, you know, for the women that we know that we only going to kick it with and play around with, but we not really going to get serious with, we kind of know that from the beginning. Whereas the women, they will be treating the man like, oh man, I'm all in with him. I'm crazy about this dude. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, or 2 weeks later, 2 months later, it's like, I ain't feeling him no more. And you leave the dude sitting like, what changed? Well, what changed is that just how women are. And that's why you got to understand that that's just how women are, and date multiple women. You need to go through that honeymoon period with buku women at one time, not just one. Because when that period is over, there's going to be one standing. But it's more than likely not going to be the one you think going to be there standing. And that's why you don't stick yourself out like that as a man. And that's how you safeguard against this. Because this is not about a power dynamic, what they're describing. The article talks about power dynamic, but it goes into something different. That's not about a power dynamic. That's about women not being honest about why they are dealing with a man. And that's part of the social pressure that women have on them. If a woman is honest, let's say a woman is honest, she Cardi B type, right? You know, she Megan Thee Stallion type. She just telling you know, hey, I'm just screwing this dude right now, that's all. We talk about those women. Y'all dudes in a red pill, y'all come on, y'all do videos about them, calling them sluts and all this stuff. Y'all talk bad about these women if they are honest. But if they sit there and date the dude, right, and pretend like they're in love, and then suddenly, without no reason, without no warning, it just wears off and they move on, they break up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or they start arguing with the dude and make the dude break up, because that's how it usually go. That's when the pull and push start coming into play that they talk about. It's when the person, one or the other, is trying to get out of the relationship. That's when you start having these debates about everything, these arguments about everything. See, me, I just cut through the chase. Once I see that stuff happening, you can go ahead and walk. You ain't got to wait till we find the excuse. In fact, I told a woman that one time, we ain't got to wait till we have an argument and find an excuse. Bye. You can kick rocks right now. Hasta la vista, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I cuts it off, you know? And that's when you start having these kinds of struggles, because somebody is now trying to pull the ripcord and parachute out of the relationship. So you got to recognize these characteristics and understand what you're seeing when you see them as a man. That's not part of a power dynamic. See, they're wrong. Power dynamic is something different. There are no power dynamics in a relationship, but what she's describing here, this relationship expert, is not a power dynamic. It's the period when you realize, okay, I've had all the fun with this man that I'm going to have. Now I need to move on. That's what that is. And as men, you got to understand that women, that is a woman's prerogative to do that. Don't be mad about it, brothers. That is their prerogative to be like that. So you date all the women you can date. And you let them know, this is my prerogative to do this, because I don't know how long you're going to be with me. I don't know when you're going to wake up one morning and decide, you know, you want to go a different direction. You might already be talking to another dude behind my back. I don't know. You know, we don't own other human beings. And nobody owes you loyalty like that when they first meet you. This stuff has to be given, and it takes time to develop. So while y'all are traveling down that path to develop that type of bond, you got to still act as if you are single, so to speak. That's how you got to move, like you're single. Because she sure is going to move like she's single. So you got to move like you're single. Because at the end of the day, she has to choose. It has to be her choice to be with you in that capacity, because she has to submit to you. She has to submit to her role within the structure of the relationship. And you got to be able to be a good leader. I'm going to talk about that in another video, how you brothers need to step up your game too, because y'all don't have the wisdom to lead. Actually, I did a video already talking about that. As I said, a lot of these topics overlap. I did a video talking about that also, but you brothers got to step your game up. Let's look at a little bit more of this this thing. The second half of that, we're gonna start from right here. Say, you find yourself withdrawing or distance yourself from them, right? And even avoiding talking through issues as a way of sidestepping tricky conversations. You're not sidestepping a tricky conversation, you're avoiding the argument, right? Let me tell you about that stage, right? If somebody is trying to avoid sticky conversations with you, they already know that they're in a contentious relationship, right? But there's a part of them that kind of sort of want the relationship to work, but they know they're in a contentious relationship. Well, at that point of realization, be it on the man's side or the woman's side, if you realize that this is the reality, we call that walking on eggshells. If you find yourself having to walk on eggshells in a relationship, break it off. It's not worth it. Look, man, we are all goofy. We are all eccentric. We are all strange. We all got weird habits. We are all individuals, right? We are all individuals. So if a person just can't accept that the reality of how you are, then that's just that, right? Now, in the first sentence, she said that, can empathize with your partner's reality. That sounds more like a deficit of some sort. Like maybe economically or financially, right? Maybe educational wise. Maybe they're not the brightest person, A lot of women would get with a dude that's fun, that's not the brightest light on a Christmas tree, only to get the dude hopes of how the dude think he got him a nice educated, sister, he think he got something there, she walks on it. But a lot of times, and this is what the article is not saying, a lot of times in this situation, what happens is the pressures from the outside start to get to the woman, and she starts to reevaluate or actually look at what she's doing. And she starts thinking about, okay, I done had this experience. How far am I really going to go with this dude that I know nobody in society is going to like? How far am I really going to go with this dude that my mom is not going to approve of? That my dad is not going to approve of, that my brothers are not going to approve of. This is why interracial dating is so hard, believe it or not. I really don't know why the black community makes so much fuss. You Dr. Umar Johnson type Negroes make so much fuss about interracial dating, because it is not easy as easy as you think. Those females, a lot of them non-black women take a huge hit with their families for dating black men, let alone marrying black men. A lot of these white girls lose their families, man, because they dating black men. They lose their family. They lose everything. They lose support of their brothers. They lose support of their male cousins. They lose everything. Whereas we don't have any dangers in dating interracially. Any, especially not black women. Black men get scorned. We just don't care. But we get scorned, we get dragged through the mud. Like I said, we don't care. But black women, nothing is said about black women that date interracially. Nothing. So we don't have no dangers in dating interracially, right? In fact, we act like it's a cool thing when a black woman do it. Like she stepped up her game or something, I mean, that is what it is. But the point I'm saying is this. We have to understand that at certain points of the honeymoon period, or when it's over, women start to really think about the long-term backlash they're gonna get if they bring this dude home, so to speak. They wonder if they take this person home, what's gonna happen then? You know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen then? How is the relationship gonna be? Once the mama meet him, once the brothers meet him, once the father meet him, once her friends meet him. I can't tell you how many women that I've dealt with, right? That had a tight-knit group of friends that didn't even know that they was dealing with me. And the stuff went on for months and they didn't know. They found out maybe later on down the line after it was over, whatever. That's because these women were consciously aware that my girlfriends, my pro-black, pro-feminist, power to black woman type sisters are not going to like the idea that I'm around here chewing on Brother Cush's meat. So I need to keep that to myself, gobble him up for as long as I can, enjoy it, because Cush don't be playing in that room. I need to enjoy it, but after it's over, I might tell him then. And that's how it goes, because these women understand that. So this is not really power dynamics. This is something else, and Brother Cush just explained what it is. So that's why you come to the Alphabet, because this is the baddest channel on YouTube, talking about almost any topic, man, because I talk from experience. Unlike these other dudes that just talking, Brother Kush tell y'all what he know to be true, and that's why I understand what I'm talking about. Until next time, don't forget, interact with the channel, man. Go into the comment section and leave an emoji, man. Put a thumb down if you think that I just talked a bunch of crap. A thumb up, a smiley face, a mad face, a fireball. Do something. Interact with the channel. Help the algorithm. Until next time, I'm out of here. I'm Brother Kush, aka the Black Alpha. Muscle.